And we are live here at the Agora Blockchain Conference. Wonderful event. Hats off to Hadi and the entire team because they've really done an excellent job of bringing a lot of investors here and a lot of top projects. And speaking of top projects, one of our favorite projects, of course, Prasaga, Prasaga.com. And I have with me here the big guy. He is the Chief Revenue Officer of the company. He is Corky Bizjack. So tell me a little bit, Corky, about how long you've been with Prasaga and what brought you here to the Congress.
Yeah, nice to see you, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
So, I was super excited to be here in lovely Dubai. It's, I'll tell you what, you can't beat the weather, the group that's here. Super excited to be here. And Prasaga, right? So we are one of the main sponsors, as we've talked about. And I've been with Prasaga since 2015. I started as an advisor when we started out with our IoT Smart City project prior to figuring out that we actually needed to start our next generation layer 1 blockchain.
Well, that is pretty interesting, and there's an evolution. And a lot of times you see that in technology. So, as I understand it, you guys were trying to build this out, couldn't find a blockchain that was really scalable, had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that's one of the things, as far as what we've done is we've moved on from smart contracts to smart assets. And then it allows us and the folks that are building on our platform the ability to scale, ability to develop on, ability to use and make it much faster and more efficient.
Well, it is very interesting, and some of the titans that we have involved here. I know our tech guy, David Bieberman, very well-known technology person. I'm sure you've been working with him quite a while. What is that like?
You know what? I didn't really know Dave when I started in 2017, but I've become to know him a lot better now, as well as I didn't know that he was one of the inventors of the internet. Started with Ben Cerf back in the day. So I've gotten to know him a lot better. Very smart gentleman, and very pleasure to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, one of the inventors of the internet, and that's just part of the team that we have. If you go to the site, Prasaga.com, and go under the team, it's a pretty nice, impressive list of people. That's for sure. I know we've added some big names as well. Can you talk about some of those?
We have, and I'll start with the folks that we have here today. So Michael Holman, our CEO, is here. We've got Jay, who's also our CMO. We've got Stuart Worrell, that's part of our collab. And then we've got Jacob Holman, which is our director of token relations. But we've also brought on some economists that we've made some announcements. One of the gentlemen that we brought on is Stephen Moore. And keep an eye out. We've got him building out his team now, and we're going to be excited here in the next couple of weeks to make those announcements public.
Well, I know one of the things I heard last night was, everyone kept talking about layer one, layer one, layer one. And there does seem to be a movement here. I think one of the reasons is, of course, it's a bit of a metaverse-focused event, but you need really a layer 1 blockchain in order to build a metaverse on top of it. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you're going to be able to build on the Prasaga chain.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we are super excited about being at this event. It is about the metaverse. We've been to some other conferences, right? There are a lot of other hot topics that people are talking about, but we're super excited about the metaverse because the folks that are building programs on the metaverse understand that it is going to take a layer 1 blockchain like Prasaga to build on for the future.
Yeah, it really is amazing. So it's quite an evolution that you've had with the company, coming on as an advisor. Then I believe you were in charge of sales, if I understand correctly, and now the Chief Revenue Officer. How have you seen the company growth?
Well, that's been what's been super cool. We started with our 3 founders. I came on board full time in November. Now, last I heard, we were at 40. Yeah. And so one of the biggest things that I'm responsible for is making sure that we're aligned along the product, along the developers, and along with revenue and partners in the applications that we bring on board. So making sure that we're all talking because we are a decentralized organization. It does take some coordination.
Yeah, well, it really is. It's amazing. And what I always talk about is you look at the team. And when you look at a project or you look at a conference or anything like that, you look at the team. And if the team is good, then there's good leadership, or great leadership, as I would say. And so you look at the team, you and Stuart and Jay, and of course Jay's one of the founders, but the rest of the team, Michelle and all these people, Nicole, Kimberly. I mean, yeah, I could go down the list. It's really impressive. So we're here for a bit, I think a week or so, and then back in March. How is the next 30 to 60 days stacking up?
Yeah, so really busy. And again, it is nice to be out traveling. We were at a conference in Denver where we got to spend some time with some of our competitors, which was kind of interesting to hear what they're doing and where their challenges lie, which we feel that we can differentiate from there. And then we'll be back here in Dubai March the 12th. We'll be here for another couple of weeks. So not only are we going to be here this week, I'm going to be going to an aeronautical conference tomorrow.
Don't tell Hadi.
Wednesday. So we've got a team of 5 of us here and super excited to be here.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic. And last question, I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're not the technical guy, you're the revenue guy. But when people talk about, when Prasaga talks about the smart contract versus the smart asset, is there any way you can explain that to the layman? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, again, when you have let's say a smart contract that is a full contract with a number of items in there, with a number of different identities in there. As it relates to our smart assets, we've got account information on the blockchain, which makes it easier for folks to understand what is in our smart asset, if you will. So again, it's easier to pull information from, it's faster, more efficient, and again, it's less, not next generation. Smart contracts were great when they came out, but it's time to move on to smart assets.
Well, I think it's lighter. It's less code, it's faster code, it does things quicker. It's kind of how I understand it. So Corky Bizjack, the big guy, thanks so much for coming on. Any final thoughts?
Again, great to be here. Fantastic conference so far. Look forward to spending the next couple days.
See you soon.